Hello, and welcome. It's me, Marls44, and welcome to this Vanguard Zero deck and fight. So I've been meaning to do these deck and fights for a while now. I know I did like 3 of them before. Excuse me. But, yeah, it's been a while. I've been having trouble with sleeping and life stuff, and it's made some things harder to do, and this has been one of them, as much as I've been wanting to do this. But I'm here now. We're going to jump on the new stuff, so the set 11 stuff, and then once we're done all the set 11 stuff, we are going to jump to the older stuff, like set 10 and set 9. Stuff like that. So we're going to do all of that. Alright, sorry about that. There was a phone call. But anyways, yes. So we're jumping on Goddess of Good Luck, Fortuna, today. And, yeah, we're going to be doing that one today. So we got... This is the deck build. And we're going to go into it. But yes, I will be doing lots and lots of deck profiles. I got back into this game because of Vanguard Zero. A lot more into this game. And I want to do these deck profiles, especially because I want to help you guys out. I want to show you guys what I think about these things, share my thoughts. And I love this game. So we are doing that. We are going to do that, and it will be done. Anyways, looking at the deck, so Fortuna, let's look at Fortuna herself, because man, she is nutty. She's top of tier 2. She is crazy good. She's not as consistent as the tier 1 decks, but she's top of tier 2, which means she's close to it. But yeah, anyways, what she does is Limit Break 4. When your drive check reveals a card other than a trigger unit, Soul Blast 3, add the card to your hand, and perform an additional drive check. Fortuna got buffed, as you can see, but that's not the only buff she got. She also got this buff. When your drive check reveals a trigger unit, if it is the second time this turn, perform an additional drive check, which you can use your first skill on as well. So if you pull the 2 triggers, you get Soul Blast 3 on your third drive check. If it's not a trigger, add the card to your hand and continue checking. So you get 3 drive checks, basically. And her other skill is Soul Blast 3 to get plus 5k until end of turn. I don't usually use this. I think I used it once in one situation where I had a rear guard swinging at their Vanguard first because they only had like 1 intercept. And I didn't get Break Ride. Actually, I think I might have gotten Break Ride, and I just wanted to be sure, and it worked out because I did that. Actually, I don't think I needed to do it, but yeah. But you rarely use that skill. It's mainly about the Limit Break skill along with the third drive check that you're allowed to get, and you can use your Limit Break skill on that third drive check. So the deck is nuts because you have Chamomile and Melissa, who you counterblast 1 with, and Superior Call. You run 9 stand 4 heal, which means you're getting 2 columns to attack again. And you it's basically how the way the deck works is on your Break Ride turn, you push for game. If you don't get it, you probably added some PGs to your hand, not even counting the ones that you had in hand, and the turn after, you end the game. The only issue is you do run out of soul, and by the time you get to that other turn, with how much you've added to your hand, how much you would have damage checked, with all the drive checks, you don't have much triggers left, so you have to be very careful not to deck out. Especially because if you get the 2 triggers, you're doing a third. And you deck out the second you hit 0 when you drive check. Or you hit 0 in general. So, there's all that. But, big buff for Fortuna, though. Big buff. And I'm very happy. I love Fortuna. I love Fortuna in the original game, but she's very slow because of it. She's slow here, but when you Break Ride, she's not slow at all. It's go, 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 go. But in the original, it was kind of slow because even when you got Break Ride, it was hard to keep up your soul. They didn't have orange or grape and really all you could do was kind of use Chamomile and Melissa for pluses. So, yeah, Fortuna was decent in the original. Not amazing, but definitely semi-solid. But in this one, whew, she's quite solid and very, very good. So your break ride unit is Wisdom Keeper Metis. What she does is limit break 4 when rode upon, counterblast 1 to have your Vanguard get plus NK until end of turn, and then you draw a card and Soul Charge 3. So the Soul Charge 3 is a big help because Fortuna goes by 3s for Soul Blasts. And the additional card to your hand is great too. You have so much adding to your hand that it's amazing. And you use a counterblast for this. The only other counterblasts you use are Chamomile, Melissa, and one time when you use a grade 2 to Soul Charge 3. I only use that skill like once, and I could still Superior Call 2 Chamomiles and a Melissa, or just 2 Chamomiles, and still use this easy. Like, no issues. So, very, very good break ride for Fortuna with the extra Soul Charge to just abuse her more. And not just for Fortuna, for her as well, your backup Vanguard, who is Sunlight Goddess Yatagarasu. So what she does is limit break 4 when this unit attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 9 to draw 2 cards, stand 2 of your rear guards, and this unit gets plus 2 crit until end of battle. And its other skills, Soul Blast 1 and Persona Blast to Soul Charge 3. So if you don't have enough Soul, and you have another copy, you can Soul Blast 1, Persona Blast. Oh, I Soul Blasted Orange, or Grape. I get to Soul Charge 2. And the Soul Blast Knight is really strong for the backup Vanguard because you get to send true rear guards, and because you run stands, yeah, you could gamble on restanding your front rows. Actually, you don't even need to gamble because when you Soul Blast 9, you probably Soul Blasted like Melissa's and Chamomile, so you can stand like one column depending on what you get, or back rows, or just front rows. It all depended on what you Soul Blasted. Like if you Soul Blasted 2 Chamomiles, or a Chamomile and a Melissa, or 2 Melissas. So yeah, you basically get 2 sets of attacks again with both of them, but this one's a little more cost heavy, and it doesn't guarantee you those triggers for power-ups that you could just bum rush your opponent with and end the game or make the game end next turn. So it's nuts. It's a really good backup Vanguard for it. Fortuna is better, but it's a solid replacement if you can't get Fortuna. And then we run one Oracle Queen Himiko, the other break ride. She just doesn't really work that well with Fortuna. Just because you need that addition to your hand. You need, because you have ways of drawing, which is Fortuna adding cards to your hand, so you're not as concerned about draw triggers, but you need that like draw to your hand. You need that Soul Charge from your break ride. You need that. You just need everything that Metis has, and Himiko's plus 5k is okay, but you have to know what you're Soul Blasting then. But if you Soul Blast so much that you call so much, like you can call probably 3, I've called 3 of them before, that it just doesn't affect it as much. While it isn't bad, and it's a decent backup break ride, it's just not as good as Metis. Metis fits the deck as a whole together better. So yeah, it's a 9 stand for heal deck, and the reason Fortuna is the heal is because you want the stands as much as possible during the break ride turn. So that's why Fortuna is the heal. And whereas with Yatagarasu, if you get her, the heals are better to get because of that. Because Fortuna is just aggression. You want to have a better chance of getting those stands. And not just that, you aren't as worried about heals because you add cards to hand. You probably started with a PG, maybe you drew into one. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue on with the deck. So we have 4 Chamomile. During your turn, when it's Soul Blast, you counterblast 1, call this card to rear guard, and it gets plus 3k until end of turn, which is great. This card and Melissa, which is the card over here, this grade 1, which of Frogs, Melissa, both of them got that buff of adding plus 3k to them, when they get Spirit Called, which is amazing for Fortuna. Amazing for Genesis in general, but really amazing for Fortuna to make this work even better. But yeah, really, really good. And you also run 4 Witch of Grapes Grappa. So her and Oranges, which is the card up here, they do the same thing. They got a buff as well. Genesis got quite a few buffs to help them be a little more consistent and not let the soul affect them as much, because I could have seen that being... I was worried about that being a big issue for these decks, but it seems to be okay, because what they both do is soul. When this unit is in your soul and it's put into your drop zone, you may soul charge until you have up to a total of 2 cards other than trigger units. So let's say if you soul charge and you soul charge a non-trigger unit, and then you soul charge like 3 Fortunas, and then you soul charge another non-trigger unit, it pulls the Fortunas out and puts them back into your deck. And it makes sure... you're supposed to soul charge 2 when this card is soul blasted, but basically it's ensuring that your trigger units don't get soul charged. And if they do, you just keep soul charging until it's not a trigger unit, and then, okay, put the triggers back into the deck. And yeah, until you have up to 2... return all trigger units into your soul with this effect to your deck. So if you soul charged before and, you know, that didn't happen... and yeah, it says it right here where it says return all trigger units put into your soul with this effect to your deck. So you get to soul charge up to 2. So you get to soul charge 2, and they're not trigger units for both of them, because if you get them, they just go back and you keep soul charging. But yeah, both of them are really, really good, really solid for that. Makes the deck even more consistent. And we have 4 Battle Maiden Sahohime. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1 to soul charge 3. She's really important. I usually only get 1 of her going off, but she's very, very important and helps a lot to help make sure you get your grapes into the soul, your oranges into the soul, who help you get and make sure Chamomile and Melissa get into the soul, so when you break ride, you're definitely superior calling them. It's just so consistent and fluent with that. And we have 1 card of Twilight Hunter Artemis. So really the only important thing is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, on Vanguard Circle by the way, soul charge 2, and if, you know, the grade 1 is in your soul, you get to soul charge 2 again. But you don't have the grade 1 in the deck. The only reason you run her is if you get her on your Vanguard, you could swing, and you don't need Sahohime's skill. But you want to, if you have Chamomile or Grape in hand, you want to ride them instead because they're better, especially Chamomile. Make sure you get her into the soul, so when you soul blast, boom, Spirit Call. Easy. That's why you really only want to run 1 of it, because Sahohime, easy to counterblast 1 and get this 3 soul charge. You get that extra soul charge, that magic number 3 that you need, and that 1 extra can make a difference, but she's a decent backup ride if you need to, just to get an extra 2 soul charge. That's all she's really there for. She's just there as a backup. Honestly, you instead of her, if you really want to, you can run 1 10k beater, just because. But I say it's better just to get her, because it can help. You have your 4 PGs, Goddess of Self-Sacrifice, Kushinada, I don't know how to say that. And we looked at Melissa, 4 Melissas, 4 oranges. Same thing as Chamomile and Grape, that what they both do. I was just talking about that. And we also have 1 Witch of Cats, Cumin, 1 place soul charge 1. So she's just that extra soul charge in case you're at a weird number, just to kind of help even it out to the 3 if you need to at any point in time. And your starters, which of Prohibited books, Cinnamon. So when the attack of a grade 3 or greater unit that when the attack of a grade 3 or greater unit, this unit boosted hits a Vanguard. I'm getting ahead of myself during reading. Put this unit into your soul to soul charge until you have up to a total of 2 cards other than trigger units. So the same thing as oranges, same thing as grapes. You keep soul charging, but this card goes into the soul while doing so. So you technically soul charge 3. It's just she's 1 of the 3. You put her into soul, and then you soul charge 2, up to 2 until... Yeah, you don't soul charge trigger units. Same thing as oranges, same thing as grapes, except she has to boost a grade 3 unit and it has or greater, and it has to hit. So yeah, you basically put her behind your Vanguard at all times. There's no reason not to. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the fight, because I've been talking for a bit, but this deck needs a bit of explaining, because I haven't covered any of these cards yet either, because I've been behind, so a little more explaining, but hey, you know what? I'm trying to tell you how the deck meshes together, and the explaining always helps with that. Anywho. Alright, this might be Eradicator. I hope it's Sweep Command. And not Gauntlet Buster. Okay, so what do we got here? We have her... Oh my god. I'll keep that in hand. We have the Break Ride. We have Fortuna. We have a grade 1, who's a decent ride if you don't have Melissa. And you don't want to just give up your grade 1. Okay, that's unfortunate, but it's okay. And then we have a PG, and we have Grapes, which is nice. So this will help with getting the others. Now, alright, I'm going to say this here. If I didn't go first... I don't know if I would have passed if I didn't go first, because I could pass if I didn't go first, but then I'd want to pass when I'm on grade 2, and then that's probably not worth it. It's better to lose Cinnamon and try to get Soul another way, from like Grape or Orange. Okay. This might be Sweep Command then. If he has Desert Gunner, but Desert Gunner isn't bad. Stops the intercepts, right? When you can't kill them. But that's not usually what you run in a Gauntlet Buster deck, so... Yeah. Alright. Right. Grape. We're gonna swing. It's... I'm not sure if it would have been worth just not swinging. Actually, I probably shouldn't have swung there. I probably should have kept it. Not swung. But I have... But the thing is, I have her in hand, and while I usually use it, I don't necessarily need to use it. While I said I usually use 1 per game, I don't find that I need to as much. So honestly, it's kind of okay, because I'll just have her swing next turn and get the Soul Charge 3. Easy. In this situation, it's okay. And he didn't retire it. I guess, didn't think he needed to, for some reason. A little weird, but okay. Alright, we're gonna call you. Gotta get her to attack first. Hoping that didn't happen. You can hope. Alright, we're gonna get the Soul Charge 3. Oh my god! I've never seen a juicier Soul Charge! Look at that! I got... Oh. Yeah, I got... Oh, okay. I thought it was 2 Melissas. I got a Metis in there. Okay. Well, still, that's still pretty good. Ah. Soul Charge are PG. If I can get a trigger... No. We're not hitting. That's okay. That's alright. Cinnamon is a... You don't usually call something behind your Vanguard, so Cinnamon isn't that bad if it's there or if it dies, but it'd be nicer to have something behind it still. It looks like this is Gauntlet Buster, by the way, with Desert Rain. Desert Rain? Is that what I just said? Desert Rain. My bad. I said Desert Rain. What the heck is a Desert Rain? Okay. Drop and drawer. That's not bad to run in the deck. The deck has so much going for it, though, that... Ooh, okay. Wait, already? Interesting. Kind of shocked, but he's probably just gonna swing at this point, I assume? Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know, I kind of saw something like that coming. I thought it was going to be a stand, but kind of saw that coming. Okay. I'm okay with this. Alright, that's a PG gone. Always count those PGs, boys and girls. Always gotta count those PGs. So that's one PG gone. That's usually pretty decent. Because, generally, if one PG is gone... Alright, so what we're gonna do... I'm gonna call Himiko. So generally, if one PG is gone, that's pretty good with this, because you're gonna have two columns swinging at him, and your Vanguard's gonna swing. And if you have him at 4 damage, which I was trying to do, there's a decent chance you could end it that turn or the turn after. But, oh, okay. That's all my heals. Ooh, okay. I mean, that doesn't do anything, but hey, whatever. Whatever, right? Doesn't do much for me right now. There's no, like, other rear guard. I can use Cinnamon's skill now. Yeah, so you see Metis there went back, and I soul charged with Chamomile. And, Great, as well. Which is really nice. So he's at 4 damage. He's probably going to break ride. I do have a PG in hand. The only issue I see here, now that I'm looking at this, is I think I played a little too aggressive because I don't have a lot in my hand currently. And yeah, he has 2 intercepts. Oh, and he doesn't have the break ride though. Okay, so that means he's gonna harp on my Vanguard a little harder. So he's probably gonna kill Chamomile and attack my Vanguard because he can. Ooh, no, he's gonna use Linshu. That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. Kill Himiko and then attack my Vanguard, pushing me to 4. Well, also I have nothing on the field, but that's okay. We have Chamomiles and Melissa's in Soul. It's break ride turn, and I get to draw as I break ride as well. And I drew a Metis. That's okay. Wait, is that one SP? Oh, they're both SPs. Okay. Can I have 2 SP Fortunas? Because I pulled one and then I grabbed one from the thing. Alright, let's see what we can do. I think he was trying to hold me back a bit, so there's a chance I'm actually in a decent position right here. Alright, Sahohime. Call you. Call the other Fortuna. Alright, so here's how we're gonna do this. Easy. Easy. We got this. How many stands do I have left in the deck? Okay, I'm fine. I have like 2. It's fine. The only issue right now is we don't have full columns. But that's fine. Soul Blast. So he's at 4 damage, which is amazing because now this just becomes very threatening for him. It makes this turn challenging for him, but then it's gonna make the next turn like his turn challenging because I could get PGs in hand here. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. How many PGs do I have left? Yeah, okay. Okay. We're not gonna invoke this one. Yep. Okay, there it is. So you can see how much deck I have left, however. There's a stand trigger. And that's it. I didn't continue. And that worked out well, because now I have double swings and 2 PGs in hand. So if he doesn't die this turn, I might still beat him. Because he has a PG at the bottom of the deck, he just used 2 there. Yeah, we're sitting pretty. I have a decent amount of hand, I have 2 PGs, I have front rows and booster. So it becomes quite scary for him. Gauntlet Buster, right? Oh no, Descendant. Okay. That's bad. But if he can't kill my other rear guard, I'm fine. Gauntlet Buster's crazy broken though. Gauntlet Buster's the best deck in the game, man. He wants it. He wants to kill my front row. Or he's trying to get a PG. Okay, never mind, we're not safe. We're not safe. I have 2 PGs. Shit. Well, this is how you play Fortuna, though. That's how you play it. It's just, Descendant Gauntlet Buster is just stupid. Oh! That might have just saved me. It depends on what he gets here. I have no heals left. Yeah, okay. That's bad. Now he gets to restand. Now, I don't know if he knows, but I mean, it doesn't matter. That's all my heal triggers are gone. Yeah, that's the smart decision. And that's it. That's all my PGs. That's all my heal triggers. I can't do anything. I lose. Yeah, so this is why some people do run these kind of cards, though, like Desert Gunner. The Desert Gunners, that's why some people run them, is because in situations like this, instead of retiring, you can use those. So they're not a bad option instead of Death Scythe. You can run either or, I think, but man, I have been playing this deck quite a bit, but I didn't get the level up. Wow, I played the deck a lot, but I didn't even get the level up yet. Alright, so I was thinking of doing another game, but nah, I decided not to. That was a good showing. That was a good showing of the deck. That's pretty much how you play the deck. There's nothing else to show because that's how you play the deck. Of course, you can play it in a slower manner as well. You don't have to use all those Soul Blasts right away, but it depends on what you have. Like, if you don't have a lot in your hand, and you need to play a little slower on your Break Ride, well, if you don't get Break Ride, I mean. You can play it a little slower by not Soul Blasting too much, but just maybe like once, and just trying to add cards to your hand to get things to your hand, and then kind of start getting really aggressive, but you need the PGs to back that up, or else you're gonna have to be very, very aggressive. And of course, fighting Eradicators, that can be tricky, because Descendant is a bitch to deal with. You're 5 damage, Descendant is a bitch to deal with. Even if you're not at 5 damage, even at 4 damage, you get a Break Ride with Descendant, and that is a bitch to deal with, because, yeah, if your opponent can retire the front row, or just nullify its intercept like it did, whew, that's tough. That is 3 swings to your Vanguard. And it's not hard to have 3 PGs, but usually you have 2 or 3 in your hand per game with the decks nowadays. So it can be tricky, and it makes the next turn trickier. But yeah, but that's the deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I love this deck. It is so much fun. There are times it can be a little frustrating, but because when you don't get your Break Ride, it kind of becomes slower and harder to manage with sometimes, and sometimes it's still really good and like really fast, but it depends on what your hand is. Like, when you don't get the Break Ride, I'd say you'd hope for less PGs and more aggressive units, because it's going to be a lot harder to win with PGs, because you don't have You just don't have your proper setup, so you need to be very aggressive very quickly and just slam down on your opponent and hope it works. So those are the type of games you hope your opponent just doesn't have a lot of PGs. But yeah, in normal games like the one I just did, that wasn't Descendant. If that was Sweep Command or something else, the game was over. I would have won that the next turn. But that was still a really solid game and a good experience. I think we can just go off of that one game alone because that worked out very, very well. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed it. We're gonna do more deck profiles, as I said. I usually do like a couple games if it's necessary, but here I don't see a reason to do another game. Anywho, that is all. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.